It's another beautiful morning in the city of Lagos, welcome Nigeria, welcome Africa to another super duper exciting edition of the Bumper Breakfast on MITV. My name is Stanley Paul Ikao, and as usual, in our character, in our tradition, we dissect, analyze, we bring you up to speed with the latest information that concerns Nigeria, your community, my community, the country at large, and sometimes we touch on issues that affect countries across the globe that might also affect our country as it will. So today would not be different. So much to talk about, from the president to issues definitely surrounding this country called the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the best of time with us. As usual, it promises to be exciting, it promises to be informative, and sometimes we add one or two spice to at least entertain you. Yes, entertain you. We may not be that full-fledged entertainer, but in our own little way, we try as much as possible to ensure that we put smiles on your faces. That's what we do on the Bumper Breakfast. Trust me, you can also watch MITV on YouTube and on Facebook. On YouTube, it's MITV_Nigeria, and of course, on Facebook, it is MITV Nigeria or NG. MITV NG, I beg your pardon. So you won't miss any of the action. It's always on the go. Quickly, before we go straight to someone, unfortunately, Tom Aderele is caught up in traffic. But before I get in touch with Tom Aderele to give us updates, so many things, like I said, from DHQ confirming there was a coup, there was a plot to oust and overthrow this government by some, I don't know, whatever reasons or whatever guys they felt they were trying to do that, in whose interest. But yeah, we'll touch more on that in the course of the program. I am not running alone, neither would I be a Liverpool fan this morning. I have someone I'm sure supported, I don't know, I'm looking at either IICC or back then or stationary stores, but it is what it is. We're talking politics this time around. Someone, an accountant, a chartered accountant who has done so well for himself. He has represented Nigeria, he has served his fatherland. I'm talking about no other person than Akin Fatuke. Akin, good morning. Welcome to the Bumper Breakfast this morning.
Great pleasure, Stanley. Always to be here. Your intro, you are just gliding and saying, honestly speaking, sometimes when I sit back and I watch you in sports, I will even think that you are a footballer. I am happy that you also introduce somebody that, according to you, would have been a mentor in that field, Urume and Co. Then you now begin to talk politics, begin to talk business, begin to talk. You said this is poised for entertainment. I would change it slightly. I would say it's poised for infotainment at its very best. God bless you. Thank you for having me, and I'm sure Tom, wherever she is now, real traffic, terrible traffic, I hope she will just take it easy. Yeah.
All right. May God bless and continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, like I said, let's go straight to somewhere around Ogun State, where it's not looking good. And I think it's high time that the government considers the plight of the people. You don't construct or do repairs or carry out repairs at the expense of other road users. There are people who need to get to their places of work as early as 6 a.m. Now imagine you have a boss who doesn't listen to excuses. Some persons definitely will lose their job. This morning I'm being joined by a colleague, a sister, a friend, an auntie, who ordinarily should have been on this seat, but
that when you know that it is, that when you know that there is a rush hour, look alternative arrangements such that people are not stuck in traffic. It is so frustrating to have woken up at 4 a.m. and I'm still not at work at 8:33. I mean, it is disgraceful and shameful. And everybody, I have to turn back and go through Areco and come on the side road where you have the Mikano.
Yeah.
Now, my point is, this is an alternative route. What is the government doing about looking at alternative routes? Making the roads motorable such that in situations like this, motorists can take this road and still get to their places of work, at the right time. I'm on this road, and it's a bumpy road, so we have to take it easy, and so on and so forth. It's just is very disheartening. And, you know, and a lot of Nigerians are going through this ordeal, and they keep going through it every now and then. But I must say something, you know, very quickly before I drop. I noticed that at a point when they were doing the reconstructioning of certain areas in Ikoyi, you know, the Osborne Road and so on and so forth, Igwe Road and so on, I realized that they did it, you know, in record speed. They did this repair very, very quickly, and they put paint to it. But when it comes to this axis, you know, they take their time, and they're never in a hurry. And this is not good at all. Because what that tells me is that they're speaking to a particular class of people in a particular way, you know, and the others are the others anyway.
Okay, so for how long have you been in traffic? Just give us a time frame, because I know ordinarily you should have been in the office as early as 8 a.m., but you've been stuck in traffic. How many hours have you spent in traffic?
About 3 hours.
3 solid hours. Wow. Now, is this a function of prioritizing the influential people as against the common man? Because from what you just painted, what I could deduce is the government prioritizes the influential, the elites, permit me to use that word, as against the ordinary Nigerian or common man, as it were. Is that the picture that's painting out?
In my opinion, yes. Clearly, that is what, you know, that is what is playing out. Clearly. I mean, they're not mincing words, and they're not hiding it. You know, I wish this call was on video. I would have, you know, just shown you where I am, and I would have shown you what's going on the expressway that we have eventually been able to avoid. It's not good at all.
So, we won't mind if you can just get us a clip or two, so we can show the world what Nigerians are going through. Road users, commuters, those that should have been in office by now, get off to work, they are stuck in traffic. And imagine you have a boss who doesn't listen to excuses. What happens next? You are either issued a query, or perhaps the next thing is you get relieved of your job. And that brings us back to increasing rate of unemployment in the country. Don't worry, just take it easy. I'm sure you would get to the office, but then just try and calm your nerves. All will be well. That's all I can tell you.
Thank you so much, Andy Portical. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, that was Stone Aderele. Akifatuke, you just heard that. I think we are not that proactive. We don't consider the plight of the people before we take some decisions. When I say we, I'm talking about the government, not just this government, successive government. There's nothing bad if you want to repair a road, if you want to reconstruct a road. But then, I think there are ways we go about it. People don't go out often during weekends. Activities don't happen except for those who want to go out for weddings and whatever. But normal working hours, you have it Mondays through Fridays. How come they don't carry out this reconstruction, rehabilitation, and whatever at weekends?
Thank you very much, Stanley. And it won't be stated, listening to Aderele carefully, quite a number of things that are throwing themselves out. Please, let's go from the subtle. The subtle is the authorities are paying more attention to the discomfort that people in certain areas are getting over some other areas. I honestly find that not just absurd, but highly unthinking. In the words of Tom, when, some of the arteries around the Ikoyi, Victoria land were going to be reconstructed, according to her, which I think is true, I remember very well that management of change came at its best. Announcements were made, alternative routes were created, knowing fully well, like you rightly said, at this type of hour, when it's going to be rush hour, Why do you want to inconvenience people? On the Arequa for people, and we must situate it the way it is. That this construction, I'm assuming, that this construction is being done by the Federal Ministry of Works.
Sure, led by Minister David Umahi.
You remember, Minister David Umahi had to personally come to intervene on, I think, the Falomo thing that they said initially, and then the engineer lady had to be overruled, and that this kind of thing should not, will not happen again, and yet it is happening. As much as I want to be very careful to pronounce words like incompetence and carelessness, honestly, I cannot really understand why this will continue to happen. And you continue to do the same thing and you expect different results. Stanley, I am right here now. Why is it now that we have not been able to learn from? I put this squarely at the lack of care and due diligence of the Federal Ministry of Works. Now, why I am saying I noticed you didn't want to go political is I also don't want to go political. Sure. I recognize how tough and difficult it is for service delivery, routes. And I have seen the Federal Ministry of Works done quite some very beautiful things. For the very first time, may I confess, I don't know if you have had time to go in there. I applied the Lagos-Calabar, the coastal road, because I needed to go to some far, and honestly, without being apolitical, it was smooth ride.
Sure.
It took us some 10-15 minutes. What ordinarily would have taken us about two and a half
hours or even more
of routing. Great, good job. You know, the Federal Ministry of Works has also sent a warning that the indiscipline of our people who steal and people who drive one way, I can understand, but it's not going to be an excuse for a fellow colleague of ours who is supposed to be on duty. Please read that colleague or that Nigerian is coming on an SOS, on an emergency, to one of the hospitals.
Facilities.
Is that how that person is going to be stuck in there? And don't forget that what happened at Otedola, should in case something untoward happened at Otedola, a teller turns and the whole place are not aware. It's just that I don't care. You talk about a weekend, or overnight thing. I know there's insecurity problems, but you do your weighing, and at the end of the day, you can still deliver at the minimum inconvenience to people. I'm so sorry for our people who are on that road. I'm so sorry that, we have to say it exactly as it is. And I must also confess that the Federal Ministry of Works, Lagos, the Federal Ministry of Works, Federal, hopefully they are going to hear this. This is not cricket at all. It is not good at all. Wow. And I believe that, honestly, we need an immediate change of attitude to change management. Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And I concur in totality to what he just said. We need attitudinal change, and it must start from first the government, you and I, and from there we'll move forward. Now let's come back to, yes, it's a national issue, mind you, so it can't be swept under the carpet. Nigerians are stuck, they are stranded, they are trapped, and I just hope that they arrive at their various destinations safely. Now, talking about arriving at various destinations, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has landed in Ankara, the capital of Turkey. There's different things. One of our ambassador designates has also been put there. So let's just hope that the meeting or whatever it is Mr. President has gone to do in Turkey would yield national interest and dividends, led by Minister of National Education Yusuf Tekin with other senior officials. It goes on to say Tinubu's visit is expected to focus on deepening diplomatic, political, and economic cooperation between Nigeria and Turkey, building on the long-standing cordial relations between both countries. The state visit would also feature high-level meetings with Turkish officials, discussions on shared interests in trade, investment, security, education, innovation, and aviation, as well as engagement designed to expand business and investment ties between Nigeria and Turkish investors. I'll take a pause there. Now, Akifatuke, one of the major reasons why Mr. President has visited Turkey is to discuss on shared interest in trade, investment, security, education, innovation, aviation, as well as engagement, which is designed to expand business, I beg your pardon, and investment ties between Nigeria and the Turkish government. Now, good step in the right directions. Mr. President has been to different countries, to France, to Japan, to the United Arab Emirates, to the United States, different countries, just to ensure that he woos foreign investors, grow the economy, improve the lives of citizens, and at the end of the day would have a win-win situation. But one of the major reasons why, according to the report I just read now, he traveled was to ensure that he discusses security issues and the challenges which has bedeviled and still staring at us in the face. Yes, there's no how you want to bring foreign direct investors into this country if you don't have a secure country, if you don't have your citizens are not safe, because who are the Turkish government or the Turkish investors going to employ if not Nigerians? And if the same Nigerians cannot sleep with their two eyes closed, then what exactly are we doing as a people and as a government?
Stanley, we must not pretend that we don't have our ears to the ground.
Yeah.
We may not necessarily be right, since we don't have
all the facts and
all
figures.
information at our disposal, but we know about perception. I have absolutely no problems in seeking for international ties, international cooperation, and like you said, Mr. President has been to quite a number of dozen countries. The perception out there is becoming one time too many. Should the president therefore not go? Is debatable. Debatable because the perception also is there that is one of the reasons why Mr. President has invested heavily on his new airplane, that some people are also saying, is that the priority or not the priority? Again, chicken or egg, we don't know which we are going to try and seek. Perceptibly also, people are asking, the other places that we have been to, what has been the returns? Yes, we hear quite a number of proposals, returns, and one must not lie about it. Some are already being concretized. Some, for whatever reason, is shrouded in what people are now saying, is it propaganda or not propaganda? Yes, this foreign country that Mr. President has been to has promised that they are going to do A, B, C, D, only for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, one day, the whole thing is reversed. And again, it does not portend competence, the kind of competence that I wish to see. Yeah. We must be very clear about that. So, Mr. President has been out there. Some have been very, very good. Some have not been as good. Some have been quite embarrassing. And the buck stops on the president's table to ensure that a same voice, says what is right, says what is noble, and that we are getting good feedback. On this particular one, unless if my reading is faulty, I have a challenge.
Which is?
The challenge is that an ambassador designate has been named for Tokai, as my friends from that part of the world will call it. Tokai, they say it's Tokai. I'm also hearing that there is a mistake in the submission of that name because the name was not part of the name that was vetted at the National Assembly. How embarrassing.
Another incompetence.
How embarrassing. I don't understand. And it's not the first time, it's not the second time.
Of course.
That names will be mentioned. It's either they are not alive. We have not done the required due diligence to making sure that we come out shining like gold.
You just took me back to the gazetted tax laws that the House of Reps said the one that be gazetted on is different from the one Mr. President.
The point, therefore, is becoming an embarrassing to me. And even if, at the end of the day, Mr. President succeeds in bringing some of these dividends of his travels, do you think the people outside will seek and look at us as serious-minded? Again and again, let me retreat. The vision and the goal is clear. The drive to bring in what should be brought in is clear. But the process and procedure appears to be faulty. The last I'm going to mention here, again, which I don't like, is that Mr. President has embarked on this journey to Tokai. The communication surrounding it indicated that Mr. President is going to go on this beautiful trip. We are being hemmed here and there. We are not getting the kind of ammunition that we should get. I know Tokai has been quite friendly and all that. And I know Tokai has given a listening ear, so we would not want to go out there. But the communication that came out to talk about this told us Mr. President was going to be going out on Monday, was open-ended as regards when he's going to come back. Now, I thought that should be much more fixed. And even if that is going to change, you can always talk about it changing. But to leave it open-ended gives the impression to the perception that Mr. President just wants to stay up out there in the air. In football, you can have your Siemens, okay? You can have your Manes, okay? You can have your hit people that will score your goals.
Sure.
Your Lookmans of this world. But if you don't have a good midfield that will supply them and make sure that they do some kind of defense and also feeding attacks, it's not possible to win. So the bureaucracy that surrounds the APC federal government, I'm talking about the office of the chief of staff and the office of the secretary to the federation, are supposed to be the midfield, making sure things are done the way they should be done. I have said it countless of times, needs to buck up. Tendency to errors, changing, not being certain. Somebody says one thing and then we are finding the other, is putting us in very bad light and not showing a president that we should give it to, wants to score goals, wants to make a lot of achievements, will make it will just water it down. I wish Mr. President all the best. But I've just spoken about the perceptions back. The opposition are already making a lot of noise about it. The NGOs are making a lot of noise about it. I particularly support the vision, but I am not happy about a number of the ways they are being executed, and the in-betweens, the midfield. Sometimes, I talked about the midfield. The goalkeeper sometimes is looking the other way when a ball is coming, and it's not. You've got to be able to all be alive so that we can play as a team and then go for the goal.
Okay. What Akifatko just invariably said in summary is, all hands must be on deck.
Should be on deck.
Must need, because if one hand leaves, it creates a lacuna. If another leaves, it creates another loophole. Now, these are some of the loopholes that the oppositions, as much as they are not strong right now, these are some of the loopholes the opposition look at and say, let's exploit it. And Mr. President, I am sure you wouldn't want such to happen as we gear up for another election in the next 365 days. Now, still talking, now let's go to security. Is it security? Yes, but in another dimension right now. Some months ago, it was rumored that there was going to be a planned coup against this government, to oust this government led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, that rumor became, okay, it's not real, it's fake, it's whatever. Now, like they say, for every rumor, there's always an atom of truth in it. Former governor of Bayelsa State, Timi Presilva, was alleged to have led this coup. I also remember some days, months ago, the military arrested, is this PA? One of his workers. And now the man, I told Abiola Ismail yesterday, worst case scenario, he will seek asylum. But that's not the point. The point now is, the army have now agreed and confirmed there was an alleged, that truly, there was a coup, a planned coup, I beg your pardon, to oust this government. Now you ask yourself, in whose interest? In whose interest? There was no coup to oust the former president, late Muhammadu Buhari. There was no coup to oust, what's it called now? Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. There wasn't a coup to oust, albeit he spent just a short time in office. I'm talking about late Musa Yaradua. Now the army has come out to say, yes, there was an alleged planned coup. Now I'll read this out so you have an idea of what I am talking about, while I would allow Akifatuke analyze in full details, as much as I would need time also to touch on other topics. Now it says, the defense headquarters on Monday said investigations into alleged misconduct by some officers revealed claims of a plot to overthrow the government. Now, in October 2025, the DHQ announced that the defense headquarters announced the arrest of 16 officers over acts of indiscipline and breaches of service regulation. Now, according to an online platform that reported on October 18 that the officers, ranging in rank from captain to brigadier general, were arrested by the Defense Intelligence Agency for allegedly holding secret meetings to topple the government. The platform is also linked the cancellation of the October 1st Independence Day parade to the alleged plot. So, like they say, for every season there is a reason. For every action there is a reason, and sometimes there could be a reaction and counter actions as it were. Now, reacting to this information, the former director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tuko Gusso, said the publication was intended to create tension and distrust among Nigerians, adding that the matter was strictly a disciplinary issue handled internally, that they were diplomatic and also indirectly played politics in handling that matter. Quoting him now, he says, the ongoing investigation involving the 16 officers is a routine internal process aimed at ensuring discipline and professionalism are maintained within the ranks. An investigative panel has been duly constituted and its finding will be made public. Now, providing another update or information yesterday, the new the new Director of Defense Information, Major General Samaila Uba, said a comprehensive investigation has been conducted in line with establishment military procedures. He said the findings showed truly that some of the officers had cases to answer over allegations of plotting to overthrow the government, and that the investigation report has now been forwarded to the appropriate superior authority. Defense headquarters issued a press statement. Okay, now the bottom line is, finally they've agreed that there was a planned coup to oust this government. First things first, those planning the coup in his interest. I understand the fact that you cannot satisfy everybody. Now, perhaps because some quarters feel, okay, we didn't get what we want, we supported this government, we did this, we did that, or maybe the issue of not wanting a southwesterner become president. This whole idea for me still doesn't really add up, because first, you oust the government, take it or leave it. At least an interim government would definitely take over, pending when a successive government takes over. Now, in all of this, there's no guarantee that if this government is ousted, it will go to either the southeast, the south, or the southwest. Worst case scenario, it returns to the north, and we'll go back to the same drawing board. Those that are feeling aggrieved that we didn't get what we wanted, what we agreed upon, or what we agreed on, at the end of the day, we'll be on the losing end. Now, what do you make of all of this?
Again, thank you very much, Stanley. What I make of it is the Alice in Wonderland, curiouser and curiouser. What you feel is impossible in a very eyes and under our nose we sniff. And I agree with you that there can't be any smoke without some spark. That is, if it does not turn out to be fire. Let's look at the substantive issues. The rumor and the perception out there was an attempt to seize government by force, what you call a coup. Government vehemently denied it. You know, again, if it was going to be done diplomatically, I would understand the diplomacy, but I see quite a number of botchops. Mr. President was about turning a sword of getting superb direct investment into the country. Again, the attacker is out there about to score, and then behind, the goalkeeper even left the goal post. So we started the rigmarole. For your information, and based on the knowledge that I have been able to gather at that time, European countries knew that it was more than the denial that government was trying to put across. Secondly, we were told it's an administrative rejuvenation, discipline. Again, that was a diplomatic way of trying to, are we sure, are we not sure? And I'm going to try and talk a little bit around that. In the first place, for a coup to succeed in Nigeria, it goes beyond these captains to brigadier general, 16 or 17 people. For serious-minded coup, there's no way this ragtag would have succeeded. It would have succeeded because the levers of the battalions that will look at coup and coup making and coup execution were not part of it, unless we have not been told how deep this would have been. You remember, the chief of army staff at that time was now the chief of defense staff. Again, the rumor was that he had to be shoved aside because how can things like this be happening here and there? So many things shrouded in such secrecy. The initial thing is that this cannot be serious-minded human beings. So they needed to take time to investigate and really be sure. What are we really talking about? The former governor of Bayelsa, Tim Prey had to, and then there were, yes, it's true, it's not true here and there. So they needed to dig deeper. But communication machinery is not to continually deny. And then, at the end of the day, the competence that I mentioned earlier, you know, then say, okay, we said there was no coup, and now suddenly there is a coup. These are the substantive factors surrounding what has happened. So, today being the tomorrow we were thinking about yesterday is here with us. Your question was very clear. Why should anybody even be doing ragtag discontent of a truth? There is no country, not least ours, that will be going through the kind of reforms that we are going through. That even politicians are saying they are hungry and angry, that has brought in a lot of discomfort to quite a number of people, that will just go it scot-free. Murtala Muhammad was now showing some form of pan-Nigerianism, pan-Africanism, and asked the British to, I remember very well, said, shut up, get out. I was talking to Great Britain at that time. Many people knew his days were going to be numbered. With some of the reforms that were just going roughshod. Definitely, the election that brought in Bola Ahmed Tinubu was thin. I believe he won, but he won on a thin margin and on lack of strategy by his opponents. So from day one, Anogo Gree rented the air. And don't forget the age-long rivalry that talked about the reluctance in power shifting, even though it's an arrangement that it should shift south and north, became very rife. And then the kind of schism that exists between the southwest and the southeast, of course, historically became an issue. So it became a crack in the wall that the lizard can easily, or will just feel that it's something that it can get into. After all, Ivory Coast, Mali, Niger, they have Burkina Faso, they've had to do theirs at the back of a lot of insecurity. In other words, strategically we are doing well. When I met Tinubu became a live wire of his own. Yes, you may question some of the procedures, you may question some of the lack of character and some elements of competence in wanting to reach the goal. But it was clear that if the brake was not pressed, we are all going to go downhill. Even the oppositions knew this. To what ends, therefore, would this be? I am convinced that it goes beyond these 16 officers that have been arrested. Allegedly, we are mentioning just one name. There will be a lot, much more. I think Nigerians should just hold on, and more revelations are going to come out. Now, if these 16 have been reported and they are now saying it is coup, in the military circles, the consequence of coup is the capital punishment.
Sure.
Are we going to be going through that hog, or are we going to look at the civilian bent to it? That question rests squarely with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I'm seeing a couple of motion, not movement. Motion, not movement. The high brasses of our military have been moving. Some have gone to Mina. Some have had to go to Mr. President himself. Is this an indication that there is a bigger tremor that might erupt? I'm only analyzing. I'm only using my common sense, and I'm only using my emotional intelligence. Time is going to tell. Not a good thing. Everybody knew that even it was with a ding gun. You can say you want to do a ding gun. I mean, something might be wrong with you, but maybe these are just the chess, the pawns on the chessboard. And that the deeper element of the fear that virtually all governors are moving to a particular direction in the polity, and if you cannot get it, then maybe apply some extrajudicial elements. I have had to read through some of the names of the 16, and it looks as if the surfeit of them are coming from a particular direction in the north. Okay, maybe, and that is quite telling. I also know that opposition is now saying that we don't want this, to respect the zoning between north and south, and that they are going to now contend. There are interesting times ahead. Absolutely. But I have that faith and believe that the Jagaban himself understands some of the nuances, and that assuaging the pains of commoners at this time must be one of the priorities that I'm sure, I have a good feeling that he must continue to pursue.
Absolutely. I also believe that Mr. President would have learned his lessons. Definitely, things would happen after the 2007 general election. I believe strongly. Well, let's leave that and, of course, go straight to Anambra, a state where the governor ordered that all shops be closed. And he said all the shops will be allowed to open next week, Monday. He gave the order yesterday. And immediately the governor left, the indigenous people of Biafra, who have not considered the interest of its people, the interest of the state, the economic impact it would have on the state, and of course Nigeria as a country. And they immediately told the traders to resume. Now let's first listen to Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo, what he said and what he told the traders. If you still insist on this seat at home, things would not be the same. And I think he made a very, very valid point. But some person said he was too harsh. But that seat at home, in my own opinion, has affected businesses, not only in Anambra State, but across different states in the southeast. Let's listen to Governor Soludo. When we come back, we'll also read out what the IPOB leaders said to the people or the traders in Anambra State after this time out.
Yes. And the rules are that markets are open Monday to Saturday. If you are not prepared to open your shops Monday to Saturday, then leave Anambra, go to elsewhere. Period. Okay? So, this market will be shut down for the remainder of this week. It will not be open tomorrow. It will not be open on Wednesday. It will not be open on Thursday. It will not be open on Friday. It will open again on Monday. And if we come on Monday, you want what? Yes. And the rules are that markets are open Monday to Saturday. If you are not prepared to open your shops Monday to Saturday, then leave Anambra, go to elsewhere. Simple. Period. Okay? So, this market will be shut down for the remainder of this week. It will not be open tomorrow. It will not be open on Wednesday. It will not be open on Thursday. It will not be open on Friday. It will open again on Monday. And if we come on Monday, you want what?
Yes.
And the rules are that markets are open Monday to Saturday. If you are not prepared to open your shops Monday to Saturday, then leave Anambra, go to elsewhere.
Simple.
Period. Okay? So, this market will be shut down for the remainder of this week. It will not be open tomorrow. It will not be open on Wednesday. It will not be open on Thursday. It will not be open on Friday. It will open again on Monday. And if we come on Monday, you want what?
If you are not ready to obey and abide by the rules, leave Anambra and go somewhere else. Shops are meant to be open from Mondays through to Saturdays, while you observe rest on Sunday. But some persons and a group that have been proscribed and regarded as a terrorist group still insisted that traders, as against the order of Mr. Governor, should return to the market and open their shops. You heard it direct from Governor Chukwuma Soludo, the governor of Anambra State. Very, very simple, very, very clear. Every sit at home that civil servants honor, they won't be paid salaries. And I think it's a good step in the right direction. Akin Fatuke, your take on this? Okay, before I get your opinion, before I take your opinion, because we have a package for you, but then it's not time yet, so we need to work with time. Now, the indigenous people of Biafra. So, Akin Fatuke would analyze this in two different ways: the order from the governor and the counter order from the indigenous people of Biafra. It says the indigenous people of Biafra has asked traders and shop owners at the Onitsha main market to open for business on Tuesday, today, despite Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo's directive shutting the market for 1 week effective from today. He says earlier on Monday, Soludo ordered the closure of the market. My director, please, we need to have that video roll while we discuss. Thank you so very much. Closure of the market following traders' failure to comply with the state government directive to disregard the sit-at-home order. Now, the governor gave the directive during an on-site visit to the market alongside some aides and other government officials. He warned that the closure could be extended if traders failed to comply, adding that security agencies had sealed the market to enforce the order. Soludo described the development as the latest and perhaps the most drastic salvo in a prolonged struggle over control of economic life in the southeast. I put a pause to it. Over what? Prolonged struggle of economic life in the southeast. Akin Fatuke, over to you. We have just less than 5 minutes to discuss this, then we'll move on to the other topic before we take a break.
I better just use 2 minutes to now say, yes, bold, audacious. Is it the right move given the circumstance? Time will tell.
Yeah.
I also believe that the jure and the de facto, what is really in the mind of the average Anambrarian, whether in Anambra State or outside Anambra State, gives a very interesting scenario. I sympathize with Professor Charles Soludo. The talk and the perception outside Igbo land is that the governors and the people and traditional rulers are the unseen hand and the quiet, muted voices that is supporting the IPOB to hold sway and saying, stay at home. It's been on, and I know for quite a number of countless occasions. I say, what is the governor doing? Why should it be the federal government? And all that. Again, we are going to see how it pans out. I believe that the in the Anambra will have to decide and make a statement as regards who are the people they are going to follow. For me, if it is IPOB that they choose to follow, so be it. So which means IPOB is the
ruler of the state.
The de facto ruler of the state. We have in the north too that we are all trying to dodge. the bandits who exalt and they say, look, against legitimate government, there's no much you can do. We are the one in charge. So government goes to negotiate with them and all that. So who is really in charge? It must be. Nigeria, therefore, is multi-headed, hydra-headed in the kind of problems that we are pursuing. Now, let me then use the last 1.5 minutes to now say something fundamental, which I don't think is going to be very popular, because it's not been very popular in the way and manner I posit this within my professional group, my age cadre. And that is, if you say something is happening here, has it happened elsewhere? How was it handled? Why I say it is not going to be very popular is the age-long rivalry between the southeast and the southwest. Yeah. Something similar to this also was gathering its head. Udua, Republic.
We'll get to that because it's even the next topic we want to discuss now.
When it became an issue that they came to Ibadan and we are going to seize the radio stations, the vast majority of Yorubas stood up and said, this is not going to happen under our watch. They were not only decimated, their headquarters were brought down. The government of the day is a PDP government. Whether it was now PDP, APC, AD, now ADC, Labour, we were direct. This is not going to happen. The voice and the choice was clear. Not only were they put down, and since then we haven't had what we say, PIM. I am not saying this because I want to chide my colleagues from the southeast. I know quite a number of them who will tell you that, no, I mean, this is just not possible and all that. But it has to go beyond that. Now, IPOB has issued a counter order. If it were to be in some other areas like Yoruba land, immediately you see all segments and say, who are you? You dare not. It should not happen. We have a constitutional authority in the governor. If you don't believe in the governor, wait for the next election and allow it to be. I expect that I should also be able to see it, not just in whispers. Indeed, if care is not taken, again, if care is not taken, if the governor has issued an ultimatum and they are saying, no, you can go ahead, we are working towards another state of emergency as we move on. The choice, again, will be ours. The only advice I would just give now is, yes, Governor Suludo, that was a bold attempt, but if the people, the vast majority of the people in the area says it is IPOB that they want to listen to and stuff like that, it requires some rethinking, re-strategizing, and then retinkering of strategy. And at the end of the day, yes, what you want is economic emancipation, the GDP of the Southeast, of Anambra, super. But if the people say that they don't want that they would prefer to be subsumed under an IPOB, which I doubt is going to be, because if you carry out a referendum, I don't think everybody from that area supports that, then we need to. Bottom line, Nigeria is an incubus. When it's talking about north, southwest, I've spoken about south, that we must say Nigeria is not negotiable. It's a lie that we are telling ourselves. Nigeria is negotiable, and we must sit down without necessarily wanting to shed more blood. If we have to go loosely, if Biafra is going to be a fait accompli, done properly through their legislatures and the National Assembly, and put a bill, let's do the voting. Let them go if they wish to go. Let the Southwest go if they want to go. Absolutely. Let the North Central go. And we all decide what we want to put at the center if it should be. This is hard sell. This is very harsh. People who are going to be listening to this under my nose will be questioning my mental capacity, but I'm just a realist. God help Nigeria.
God help Nigeria. I'm looking at and touching on this story. But then we have just less than 3 minutes to take that package. But I'll see what we can do because this is another story that can't be swept under the carpet. I'm talking about no other person than the Yoruba Nation agitator who has since returned from exile. No other person than Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho. Now, the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Rashid Ladoja, yesterday thanked, and finally she is here. Finally she made it. Well, it is what it is. When you've got passion for something, you are committed to the will of the people, not just the government alone that's committed to the will of the people. Thank you so very much, Towadele, for defying the traffic odds and making it down to the studio. But this final story, okay, maybe I don't know if Akifatike will just do this in less than a minute because we need to go on a quick break. It says the leader of the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Rashid Ladoja, has thanked God for the safe return of Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, following his reported removal from the federal government's wanted list. He made this known while hosting Sunday Igboho, who paid a thank you visit to his Bodija residence in Ibadan, the state capital, shortly after returning to Nigeria. His spokesperson, Koiti Olayomi, said the embattled Yoruba Nation activist Sunday that all arrangements had been concluded for his principal's return to Nigeria after prominent monarchs persuaded President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to remove Igboho's name from the list of wanted persons. I'll just take a pause there. We have less than 1 minute. Okay, we knew all of this would happen if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu becomes president. That was in 2023. That Sunday Igboho would be pardoned and he would return from exile. Now that's played out. You slightly mentioned it before by this information. Now, a good step in the right direction. You talked about when he took the bold step, and when some persons said they were going to agitate for a nation or whatever. Some persons were arrested. I'm sure they are facing trial right now. But in all of this, in less than 1 minute, what do you make of his return? And do you think Sunday Igboho should learn his lessons?
Oh, you are talking about Sunday Igboho as an economist. You talk about opportunity costs. Continue to look at Sunday Igboho. I'm looking at Nnamdi Kanu. My prescription, please go back to what I have always said from the onset. I was clear that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was going to pardon.
I knew as well.
It's just the methods now that is changed. Ladoja, the Southwest monarchs working behind the scenes. And I'm sure late Nwayawu was also working behind the scenes, was going on to do what needs to be done. One thing I would therefore say is maybe looking at Sunday Igboho. Please look at Nnamdi Kanu. Have you seen Sunday Igboho? She said, I'm going to come back, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You don't know the law, I know the law, and all that. I may be sounding tongue in cheek, but wisdom is profitable to direct. If your people, I said the vast majority, not all in Yoruba land, if the vast majority of Yoruba land says, you can't do this, We don't support you in doing this. And then you have to listen to your traditional rulers. That is the difference that I'm afraid I'm not seeing, even at the level of the National Assembly, I'm not seeing with Nnamdi Kanu. And it's still not late, I believe, after all said and done, that a political solution, because what we have done now is a political solution to the southeast, to the southwest.
Okay, yeah.
A political solution can also happen in the
Southeast. Wow.
if they play ball. One of the other things that I'm hearing is that, Mr. President, I don't know how true that is going to be, for the very first time, that any president that this country has produced is set to right the imbalance that we have in the number of states that we have in the Southeast. Who could have done that other than Jagaban? If, as I'm hearing, Anyama State, I don't know how true that can be, will now make the states in that area or that region, some people are saying South, I don't think we can put it beyond the Jagaban if it's allowed to do what needs to be done. Wow. God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. And on that God bless Nigeria note, we'll take a quick break to bring you a package from our brothers that have taken humanitarian service so close to their hearts. And it's the Lions International Lagos Esteemed Lions Club public presentation of Lion Busuyi Ogunriola, NLCF, as the club president, and the installation of other club officers held at Work and Play Event Hall in Ikeja, Lagos. We'll go on that quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the stories that made it to the front pages of our national dailies this morning. Don't go anywhere.
Lions International District 404B2 Nigeria, Lagos Esteemed Lions Club public presentation of Lion Busuyi Ogunriola, NLCF, as president of the club, and installation of other club officers held at Work and Play Event Center. The colorful event was graced with special guests, dignitaries, DG, PDGs, Lions directors, Lion leaders, and Lion members. Lion Matthew Agbuna, the immediate past president of the club, called the gathering together.
I, Lion Matthew Agbuna, hereby call this 5th president of Lagos Esteemed Lions Club presentation to order at exactly 3:55.
Followed by Lions prayer.
To hear the speakers of the day, the fine thought and the brain, I realize I have a part in caring for the blind. Also the underprivileged, let's keep them all in mind. Now as we do our daily tasks, we pray God to do them greatly, and liberty and intelligence will be our nation's safety. Thank you.
Lion Onyidamola took Lions International purpose, while Lion Ezekiel Ayeni recited the Lion Code of Ethics.
Forum for the open discussion of all matters of public interest provided. However, that partisan politics and sectarian religion shall not be debated by club members. To encourage service-minded people to serve their community without personal financial reward, and to encourage efficiency and promote high ethical standards in commerce, industry, profession, public work, and private endeavors. Thank you.
Obligations as a citizen to my nation, my state, and my community, and to keep them by unswerving reality in word, acts, and deed, to keep them freely to my time, labor, and means, to aid others by giving my sympathy to those in distress, my aid to the weak, and my substance to the needy, to be careful with my criticism and liberal with my praise, to build up and not to destroy.
Presentation Committee Chairperson gave a warm welcome speech.
Is equally significant. The resources raised today will empower Lagos Esteemed Lions Club to expand its impact, touching lives, supporting communities, and delivering meaningful service projects in line with Lions' global mission. I wish to specially appreciate our sponsors, advertisers, partners, and all individuals who have contributed toward the success of this program. Your support has made today possible, and your generosity will echo through the lives we serve. To our incoming president, Lion Okuriola Michael Oluwabusu, we congratulate you and assure you of our full support as we take on this noble responsibility. As we proceed with today's program, I encourage us all to participate actively, give generously, and celebrate joyfully. Once again, I warmly welcome you all and wish us a successful, memorable, and impactful event. Thank you.
The incoming club president, Lion Busuyi Ogunriola, was welcomed to the gathering with music and dance. Special guest of the day, Lion PDG Coyote of Shinuga, MJF NLCF, gave a wonderful speech.
This is 100% for service.
Let's put our hands together for that.
So Lions Club, be assured that for any money you put here today, you are going to get value for it. Not for anybody to come and say thank you to you tomorrow morning like what you do in your area, okay? But for those, if you reach people all over the world that will never be able to say thank you to him in person, but which their spirit and heart will continue to say thank you to you and continue to pray for you. If you are Muslim like me and like most, even a Christian, they say the best of prayer said is the one that you say to somebody who is not even aware that you say a prayer for him or her. So thank you very much and God bless.
Followed by DG District 404B2 Nigeria Goodwill Message.
With our strategic goals, focusing on membership and mission 1.5 is key. Encouraging growth in membership while staying true to our mission of service will help to sustain and amplify your club's impact. Additionally, I encourage you and your members to consider subscribing to LCRM and NLCM. This is the humanitarian arm of Lions Clubs International. LCI supports impactful projects globally and empowers Lions to make a broader difference in community facing challenges. As leaders, let us remember that service is most powerful when it transforms both those we serve and ourselves.
PDG Otumba Ademola Adesoye induct new members.
I promise that I will pay my due, that I will also contribute in service activity, that I will never join people that will destroy the club. No matter the conflict in my club, I will seek for redress and make sure my club continue to grow. I will also join the district in lifting the district to higher level. May God Almighty help me.
Lion Matthew Fakbonda installs other club officers.
As officers of Lagos Esteem Lions Club, you have been duly elected into various positions, and I hope will you perform the duties to the best of your abilities?
Yes, I will.
Yes, I will.
Yes, I will.
Yes, I will.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
My district governor, land leaders there present, fellow lions and guests, I present to you the officers for Lagos Esteem Lions Club for 2025-2026 Lions Service year.
Outgoing president of the club, Lion Matthew Agbana, struck the gum and the gravel for the last time, which signifies the end of his tenure.
In Lionism, I, Lion Matthew Agbana, at exactly 5:45, I hereby strike the gun, passing out as president of Lagos Esteem Lions Club of year 2024-2025.
Who is not clapping for the outgoing president?
DG called out incoming president family and friends to solicit for their support to the incoming president.
Like this, and Brother Abusi have gone to Hong Kong for convention. But you can start, we are sweating. You can start with him. You can go together. You can also participate in all activities. That is why we have family members. So I'm going to ask you this question. At this time, do you want us to install him as club president, or we just eat, dance, and play, and go home? If you say we should go, we go. So we want to take permission from you, ma'am.
Okay, on behalf of Lion, myself, Ogreon, that's family and friends, we are giving you the permission, or we agree to that you should install him as the Lion president for Steam.
As long as his wife we agree with.
Yes, you already agree.
You have already agreed.
Thank you, sir. I like that.
Immediate past president transfer regalia of authority and power to the president.
Going. Now, Congratulations.
Once again, I say thank you. You can now go back to combat.
Up next is presentation of new president of the club to members and the public by DG.
I, Oluwakemi Abimbola Ajoke Eribake, hereby present the latest, the newest, the tear-over president of Lagos Esteem Lions Club for 2025-2026 Lion Service Lion Olubusui.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the latest president of Lagos Esteem Lions, the fifth president, Lion Busui. Oguri on our items, yes. Members of Lagos Esteem Lions Club, stand forward to support the president.
Lion Busui Oguriola strike the gum and the marble at 6:01, which signifies his first activity as the president.
I, Lion Busui, Michael Oguriola, Busui, hereby at exactly 6:01.
The event came to a close with vote of thanks from the president.
Everyone that passed through in one way or the other, and here today, God bless you. Everybody, all member, friends, the guy that introduced me to Lion, even when I don't want to be, God bless you. David, Elijah, every member of Lagos Esteem, I really appreciate you. Thank you very much for coming around. God bless you, and we all shall succeed in whatever we lay our hands upon in Jesus' name.
In an interview section, the following people have this to say.
Lagos
Esteemed Lions Club is one of the 105 clubs in District 442 Nigeria. And today they are having their club presentation, induction of new members, and installation of club officers. So I'm really happy to be here because it's one of the events that will make them to be able to serve their community better. Because as they are raising funds today, they'll be able to give what they have back to the community.
I always ask them to remain focused, to continue to engage the communities which they serve, so that they will not be giving sick for leg pain, for stomach pain, so that they will engage their community, determine what they want, and assess what they can give. Not giving what they want to give, but giving to the community what the community wants and requires.
The outgoing president did wonderfully well. I know that during the year, the outgoing president happened to be settling between United Kingdom and Nigeria, and despite that, she made sure that she performed wonderfully well, and she did activity to showcase the club in the year.
Well, we only have one goal in Lionism, and the only goal we have is to reach out to the needies. We have a slogan that says, when there is need, there is a lion. And my own is to expand it, to reach out to as many as we can. We have been doing that since the beginning of Lion Year 2025-2026. We have reached out to Osun State, Modaike to be precise, and some places in Lagos, and some other parts of Nigeria.
As we all know, that to lead and to pass through the year, and if you look at what we are doing, is a charity organization that whereby we give back to communities. The challenges that we face mostly is finance, and we thank God that God has been helping us with the help of individual donation within the house, and also support from people outside the club, from government, from corporate organization, and God has been helping us in doing that. Then another thing is that the situation of the country, whereby we have fluctuation of this and that, but God has been helping us as well. Then I think another challenges that we have is that ability to manage ourselves, and God has saw us through.
A big congratulations to Lagos Esteemed Lions Club on the success of the public presentation of Lion Busuyi Ogunriola as 5th club president and installation of other club officers.
Ramadan, the only month of blessings and forgiveness, is here again. This is an opportunity for corporate bodies to grow their brands and individuals to enjoy an earning blessing from Allah by way of sponsoring any of our ARI programs, specially packaged for this Ramadan period. You can sponsor our call to prayer, Ramadan Tafsir, Taraweeh live from Holy Kaaba, Makkah and Medina, Iftar Family Quiz Show, dawn transmission from 3 to 7 a.m. and lots more at affordable cost. For information on how you can be part of this program, contact our marketing department for details or call any of the following lines: 0803 300 4531 or 0803 515 8756 or 002 928 0721. Ramadan Mubarak.
We're kicking your year off in all her glory with more, because we've got you. You know that I got it. You get it? We got kicks. We got scores. We got action. We got roars.
It's my specialty.
We got drama. We got fun. We got more for everyone.
Bingo.
Come get it. Come get with us and stick with us too. And boom, there's an upgrade on us just for you.
We got you.
More channels, more shows, more reasons to stay.
Perfect.
For the fam, for the crew, more for you every day. Yes, we've got more of everything you need to start your year with extra joy.
Thank you.
DSTV, we've got you all the way.
All right, welcome back from that package. I hope the service to humanity would not stop. They're trying their best to ensure that they touch lives. And talking about touching lives, now, she is right here in the studio with us from her career experience. She's right here to share her experience. And I make bold to say this. We don't prioritize the interest of the common man. Now, when I mean the common man, I mean those who go about their daily business or activities, as it were. Now, it looks like we have two different set of people, kind of people in this country. The influential ones and the common man, as it were. So Adelele joins us this morning, not on the phone this time around, from Kara to the studio. From the studio, she's not going back to Kara. So welcome back. I decided to use the word welcome back because I just cannot but imagine your experience this morning. Arthur will take us through what happened. And my director, please, that video, you insisted that we must bring Towo on board to tell us our experience, and Nigerians need to learn from this. So the laws, policies, reforms, and whatever, it looks like it favors the elites, it favors the influential ones, and the common man are always left to face their realities.
Well, I agree with you 100%. It wasn't a nice experience. I don't want to go back to Kara. If I had a choice, yeah, I wouldn't go back to Kara. It's not a nice. I feel so exhausted. Like I said, I woke up at 4 a.m. to be able to come to work, at the right time. Unfortunately, I spent all the hours on the road. I don't think it's a wise decision, to inconvenience Nigerians that are going about their daily activities. It is a wise decision to repair the roads, but I know that these things happen in the Western world, and seamlessly people just move, pass by, and they're still doing what they need to do. So I don't know why it is that we can't sit down and say, listen, let's not put our fellow men through this untold hardship. And this is the same reason why I had to go and rent a place at Oniru a couple of years ago in 2022. And I still pay for that place till now because I don't know what will happen. I remember spending 9 hours on the road coming from Magburu, to Ikeja for my daughter's wedding. And that wasn't pleasant for me. So I decided I'll just rent a place on the island in case I need to be on the island. And that's not a good thing.
So the alternative route you applied this morning, what's the state of that route like? Because I'm sure it's also not in a good condition. But then, it's an alternative route where people will go about their daily activities and get to their various places of work in one piece and would not have reasons to face a boss that would brook no nonsense and perhaps just issue you query. And sometimes when the query becomes too much, it results to sack. And that increases the unemployment that we've always talked about.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, again, I keep talking about being proactive. We're not proactive. We have these two side roads, that run parallel to the expressway on both sides, and these roads are untapped. When I say untapped, nobody is thinking of developing these roads to make them motorable, such that in situations like this, it will just, like I said, be seamless. So, yeah. You just go like nothing is happening. Nobody is doing that. We had to be on those bumpy and rocky roads, our cars putting the cars at risk, and all of those things. And then even in those places, you're not feeling too safe because you don't know who's going to come from underneath the bridge to knock on your window. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. And I don't think I'm happy about it at all.
Akifatuke, as we begin to wrap up, she has said a whole lot. I remember when Minister Dave Umahi had a serious confrontation with former, what's it called now?
Keisha.
As a result of the bridge that left commuters stranded in traffic for hours. Now, like you said before Tohun came in, we've not always prioritized the interests of the common man. So what do you make of all of this, and what do you think we need to do, or the government needs to do going forward?
Like they say in that cliche, there is no need for you to be found wise, penny foolish, and vice versa. I said it earlier. Where Tohun and so many commuters met, the agros they met today is the economic artery. Lagos as a commercial city and the hinterland. And those who are also coming back from there. Beyond the pains that she went to physically and mentally and emotionally as a person. What about losses? What about losses? What about those women and men that will have been at Oshodi, will have been at Oshodi, yes, will have been at Ketu, will have been elsewhere, that trucks bringing in relative perishables will not be stopped. She woke up at 4 a.m. and she was there for 3 hours. What are we talking about? Who is losing? So if we are not able to prioritize and decide that what we don't want to happen to us should not happen to others. If President Bola Ahmed Tinubu were to be coming from Ibadan on road, or a governor coming from Ibadan on road,
I wish.
I am sure, I'm sure, better thoughts would have been put. Okay. Now, again, no, see the point that she's also making. There are adjunct roads. We all know, she knows, we know, they know those adjunct roads are going to be there. For proper planners, you ask the question. You would ask the what if question. What if this happens? Why don't I just find a way around some of these adjunct roads? That's how it's done elsewhere.
All right, that's how it's done.
Nigeria.
All right, thank you so very much. Okay, you want to say something?
1 second. Yeah,
okay.
I remember at some point in time we had Engineer Keisha on this program, and she's representing the Federal Ministry of Works. Yeah, she's the director in Federal Ministry of Works. I would really wish she can come again, so that we can ask her certain questions. Why are things being done like this? They say what a man can do, a woman can do better. Let's see that you're doing it better.
She's a woman in a man's skin. I made bold to say that. On that note, we want to say very big thanks to you out there for making it a date with us this morning. Thank you so very much, Akifatuke. Your final word as we begin to wrap up this morning, because we're pressed for time.
We can do better, and we must be seen to do better. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The road exhausted, Tom, how do you sign out this morning?
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak.
All right, my name is Stanley Paulika. If you did enjoy what we served you this morning, trust me, the program will make a return tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Thank you so very much to everyone that have ensured to this production is a success. Thank you so very much. To you out there, like I've always said, you are the real MVP. Up next is Wazobia, and the crew is sitting by. Stanley Paulika saying good morning.